I'm Deborah Borchardt, and this is your midday market update. Well, we are in the green territory, and the market is open. It is not shut down like some other government agencies because it isn't government-owned. It's publicly owned. And joining me now is Ben Willis from Albert Fried. So, Ben, you know, we are up today, but it is the first day of the next quarter, and that might have more to do with it than the fact that people are thrilled that the markets, that the government shut down.
I think today's movement to the upside is almost entirely the fact that it's the first day of the quarter, and you know, the statistics will tell you that that's going to happen time and time again. So as much as we want to talk about the government shutting down, as I just saw a great headline that went by, so it's not my term, but shut happens.
Well, you know, let's talk about that, because we really didn't think we were going to shut down, and we did. Nothing's really going to change between these two groups, because if they couldn't decide on common ground up to this point, what's going to bring them to common ground now?
Well, the common ground will have to be the Tea Party deciding that they've put on a demonstration enough that they've made their point by the people that elected them. But you know, we've had 17 shutdowns of the government before in modern history, so to speak, going back to Carter. Reagan shut down 8 times. So, you know, get over it. It's going to happen. Short term, they tend to have a negative effect on equities. Long term, it's actually a positive. What happens once the government restarts itself? The real question is the effect on GDP, depending on the length of the shutdown. And right now, what friends in Washington are telling us, they're hearing that they'll be back to work as early as tomorrow.
Oh, well, that would be good, because as we know, coming up on October 17th, we have that debt ceiling that we could hit. Now, just getting this budget agreed doesn't really address the debt ceiling.
No, it doesn't. It's a different issue entirely, but it'll, you know, it'll be part of the discussion, hopefully, by the clowns, I mean Congress. So we'll get an idea of what's happening, but, you know, then they always have Ben Bernanke that can continue to keep the cost of operation lower by not tapering.
You know, as a trader, I mean, it's got to be very difficult to make decisions in this type of market, because it's very uncertain, and every time you think we know what they're going to do, they don't do it.
Well, you know, you don't fight the Fed is an old axiom, and we were not fighting the Fed, but we were using their forward guidance. We've now discovered that economists are not very good at communicating. They should have walked across the hall and talked to the English professors. But the market was built in the anticipation that tapering was going to happen, albeit small, however you want to look at it. And when they disappointed, that left traders in a very bad position. That spike we saw the day of the Fed not tapering was not investors cheering. Those were traders covering bad short positions. So you don't want to fight the Fed, and we weren't fighting the Fed. We were going along with the program they were laying out, and they pulled the chair out from under us. It was not a very happy experience.
But you're saying ultimately that if we do have these shutdowns, it ultimately, on a long term, is good for the market.
History has shown us that it should work out just fine. It's not necessarily a bad thing to have a government that doesn't operate efficiently to begin with, to shut down for a little while and then make its way back. You have to, you know, in pure economics, obviously the federal government is a significant part of GDP. However, when you really dig down, the fact of the matter is 60% of the federal government is still operating right now. They're calling it a shutdown. It's not even half the government that shut down, so yeah, you have to take that as when you drill down.
All right, well, hopefully history will be on our side and will be good for stocks in the long term. That's Ben Willis from Albert Fried, and I'm Deborah Borchardt with TheStreet.